Okay, so I have a confession to make. I went down a rabbit hole, and I do mean a literal Chi-Chi rabbit-shaped rabbit hole, of one-time characters in the amazing world of Gumball, and I came out emotionally wrecked, low-key disturbed, and also kind of wondering why Elmore hasn't been investigated by federal authorities yet. Because these characters, some of them got done dirty, some were hilarious, some were terrifying, some were literally human hair, and all of them, every last one, deserve a moment in the spotlight before they're forgotten forever in the shadow of Banana Joe memes. So today, we're going through all the one-episode wonders of the amazing world of Gumball, from explosive doppelgangers to haunted sock puppets. And trust me, by the end, you're gonna be like, wait, why did we never see them again? Alright, deep breath, let's do this. Let's start with one of the most savage callouts in Cartoon Network history, Chi-Chi, Rabbit, and their painfully obvious knockoff family from the episode The Copycats. Now, in most shows, a parody character is just a joke, right? But Gumball said, let's mock an entire bootleg series and emotionally scar the children. These knockoff characters were a direct dig at Miracle Star, this weird Chinese ripoff of Gumball, and the Watsons were not having it. Gumball and Darwin literally start doing progressively dumber and more dangerous things just to force the copycats to stop mimicking them. Like driving a flaming fuel truck off an unfinished road, kinda dangerous. Anais had to jump in and pull off the most last-minute save ever by unhooking their truck right before kaboom. And the fake family? They didn't have an Anais, they went splat. Poetic justice? Yes. Slightly traumatic for kids? Also, yes. Anyway, moving on before the trauma sets in, remember Chimera? No? Well, he only showed up once in The Friend and he was horrifying. So it's Anais's birthday. Cute, right? Except no one shows up. Not a soul. Which, honestly, rude. But Gumball and Darwin, being the chaotic supportive brothers they are, create an imaginary friend for her. Except, plot twist, he's not imaginary. He's a grown man who breaks into children's birthday parties because he's lonely. Why did this show always find a way to balance wholesome sibling bonding with deep psychological horror? Like, bro, this man was setting off Home Alone-style booby traps to fight off cops, and then blew himself up with Mentos and Coke like it was a TikTok challenge gone wrong. But he lived, rebuilt himself, said goodbye with a weird little smile. Anais deserves better, honestly. Then we've got the hamster of legend, Chris, freaking Morris. This guy is the school pet, and when Gumball and Darwin babysit him over the weekend in The Burden, they think he's a lazy potato of a rodent. Turns out, they're not even watching the right hamster. No, they're babysitting Principal Brown's leg hair that he waxed off earlier. I'm not even joking. When they finally realize real Chris is still trapped at school, starving, they rush to save him. But plot twist number 2, Chris Morris doesn't want to be saved. My guy pulls a full prison break, runs wild through the school, and literally leads them on a stealth mission away from the cops. At the end, Gumball and Darwin let him go like a tiny rodent Mufasa. And he was never seen again. Which is a shame because he had main character energy. But if you thought that was weird, oh honey. Howdy Frank and Grady. The puppets. I was not emotionally prepared for the puppets episode. Like 1 second we're in a normal attic, next second Darwin's hand deep in a demonic sock puppet reenacting Coraline with trauma. Darwin gets kidnapped into Puppet World. Gumball has to put on the cursed puppet just to save him. Grady tricks him. Honestly, it starts giving Five Nights at Freddy's if the animatronics were fuzzy little liars. Eventually they pull a thread, literally, and unravel the entire dimension. But the physical puppets? Oh, they lived. Got sold at a yard sale. Somewhere out there, some other kid is about to get emotionally steamrolled. Speaking of creepy, remember the vacation episode? Nicole tells a scary story about a family getting eaten by a weird desert couple. And then, oh look, real life starts copying the story like its Final Destination Elmore edition. There's a toothless guy, a sketchy gas station, and a mom who looks like she definitely keeps body parts in jars. But plot twist, they're nice. Until a mutant sand monster picks up the scary old man and carries him off into the sky like Mufasa, but worse. Just Elmore. Why are you like this? Okay, but let's talk about jealousy. Literally. That's his name. He's the physical embodiment of jealousy, shows up in the flower, and turns Gumball into a full-on yandere. Dude almost murders Leslie because Penny hugged him. Like, this is middle school. Take a breath. They have to perform a whole exorcism to get the spirit out of him, and it still starts possessing everyone in the room. Carrie basically has to Ghostbuster it into submission. And you're telling me this character, literal chaos gremlin, never comes back? Not even once? He was terrifying and hilarious. Missed opportunity, writers. And then there was the virus. Yep, a virus. Living on Gumball's unwashed hand because Penny touched it months ago. Disgusting, but kind of iconic. Virus had a whole army. Then Terry washes his hand, finally, and the entire army dies. Except for the virus himself, who's like, I'll avenge them, and starts attacking the trio. They defeat him by literally stepping on him. So yeah, Gumball's hygiene, 0 out of 10. Creative villain defeat, 10 out of 10. Then there's Frank Kreese. What do you get when you mix an off-brand anime villain with the most intense gym teacher you've ever had? That. He stalks Gumball and Darwin just to force them into a tennis match. Not a fight, tennis. And he still tries to make it violent. Like, dude, this isn't The Last of Us, it's PE. Calm down. Now let's speedrun a few because this list is stacked. Daniel Leonard? Not a real dude, he's literally just a cosmetics brand. And the kids thought he was going to steal their mom, which is fair, honestly. Nicole could do better than Richard, let's be real. Chicken Bucket was literally held hostage during a fast food truck chase. That sentence made me tired. The new Bobbert, cold, sleek, upgraded, and a total narc. Gumball had to downgrade him mid-air like it was a James Bond hacking scene. The Snatcher? Cursed email demon. Honestly, could be working at Meta right now. The Troll? Ate Darwin. Got defeated by Gumball being annoying. Iconic. Athel and Bernie? Adorable old goats renting the house. Found out Nicole and Richard were lying and dipped without paying. Honestly, respect. Mr. Grubber, pettiest mailman of all time, turned delivering a package into a psychological torture session. Azrael, Carrie's emo ex-boyfriend, shows up, gives drama, vanishes into the cemetery. Honestly, might still be there. Fuzzy, Gumball's childhood BFF turned kidnapper robot. Got stopped by Darwin with a shovel. Still terrifying. And finally, Ant 1. The toast-based clone of Anton. Evil, burnt, betrayed, started a food war with an army of carbs. And you know someone somewhere is still fishing breadcrumbs out of the pool. And that's all of them. Over 30 one-time Gumball characters, some adorable, some deeply disturbing, and all completely unforgettable once you realize how insane this show truly is. Honestly, Cartoon Network never had the right to go this hard. Like, this show was for kids. Why was I crying over a hamster? Why was I scared of email? But I wouldn't have it any other way. And if you made it all the way to the end, you're either emotionally damaged like me, or just appreciate chaotic cartoons on a spiritual level. Either way, smash that like button. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into animated trauma. And if you remember any of these characters, tell me in the comments which one you think deserved a comeback. And hey, click on the video right there. Yeah, that one. I promise it's weird. You're gonna love it.